It's Elms here. This is going to be my completely blind SGC reveal, and this is going to be the Rookies edition. I have a bunch of rookies here, a couple of other things. I'm Jolly Elm on Net54. My email's here in case you can't see it. It says, "What would Elm do?" at AOL.com. I use that as a baseball card email. Okay, let's start this off, all right? First card is a 1961 Billy Williams 141. Good old number 26 here. I was at a show, and I'm looking, this guy put down a bunch of cards, a stack of these type of things, the top loaders, and he had a whole bunch of stars in it, and he had just put them down, just priced them out, put them down at the show. So I think I was the first one to get them, and I made a couple grabs from him. But this was good because it's off center, which doesn't bother me, doesn't bother a lot of people. Some people, they can't stand it, but it's a really nice card. And some guy minutes later was looking for rookie cards, and he told the guys, like, I'll basically tell him I'll take whatever you got if it's a good price. And I had this in my hand. I had discarded some things, and there were other rookies there, so I'm sure he got his fill. But I got a real good price on this thing. And, you know, it's a Hall of Fame rookie card, so you get it and you get it graded. It's off center. Otherwise, it looks great. I mean, a tiny, tiny bit of corner wear, I guess, just a bump there. But it's not horribly off center, but it's, you know, it's off center. I'm gonna have to guess a 6 on this. I don't know if that'll work, if it's good. Okay, Robin Yount. This thing is nice. I have so many George Brett rookie cards, and they're all, it's from when my brothers and I were collecting them way back when. We get boxes of cards from people and everything, and there was always a lot of 75s. So I have a bunch of George Brett rookies, but they're all, you know, they have corners, the purple's disappearing, so they're not great. But this thing, I have 2 top sets, and this is in one of them in the box. It's still not even taken out. This thing is sweet. I mean, I always had a weird thing with him when I was growing up. I'm like, Robin? That's a girl's name. Like that matters anymore. But if you ever see videos of this guy swinging a bat, the fucking torque. There are some videos of him where I can't believe how quickly he swung the bat, and for power and everything. Just a really, really good player. This thing, it's got to be high. I mean, I gotta guess an 8. I have to. I just don't want to be wrong and get screwed over. Look at these things, these little easels. I love it. Okay, Frank Robinson. This, without a doubt, should get something with a .5. Look at the centering. Real nice. Real nice card. There's a lot of snow. I'm out here in California now. I'm from New York, and we'd have the most horrible winters and all that shit. And out here, it doesn't snow. It's great. It's the only good thing about California is the weather. But this has snow on it. So when I first got out here and realized it doesn't snow, I'm wearing tank tops in the winter, all that. Every time I go into a hardware store, like an Ace Hardware, I'll quickly run up to in wintertime, I should say, I'll quickly run to the counter and say, "Quick, where's your snow shovel section?" And the reactions I get from these people, it's like, what the fuck's a snow shovel? One young girl, she was a teenager, she's like, "I'm sorry, sir, I don't know what that is. I'll call my manager so he could come up here and help you." But just one of those stupid things to me, it just makes me laugh. But this, it has a lot of snow. I mean, so I don't know. What can this get? There's no creases, there's nothing. It's just corner touches. So I'm going to say 5, but I'm going to say 5-5 because of the seriously well-centered card. Yeah, let's go 5-5. I don't think that's too crazy of a guess. All right, this sucker. Look at how centered and nice this thing is. I was at a show. Here's the other one. And the guy, he had a bunch of graded stuff. This is what I call a front sixer. It's after the pandemic, when PSA started finally getting cards back to everyone. All the serial numbers, the cert numbers started with a 6. Now I'm sure there's 7s and 8s. They've done millions more, but I call them front sixers. But I have two 1972 sets, and I don't think either of my Carlton Fisks are in great shape. Like they never stuck out to me. So I was cruising through his stuff, looking at everything, and he had this. I forget what it was. It was comparable for a 6 to eBay, and it was like $30, maybe 35, something like that. And as a front sixer, this was graded hard, and the only reason it's a 6 is simply because of the centering. This should probably be at least an 8 OC. I love the qualifiers because they make so much sense. Like this, most people would see this, it's a 6 and it's off-centered. But it's like, no, it's a 6 because it's off-centered, not a 6 and it's off-centered. But that's a debate for another day. So we had this, but then I started digging through his other stuff. He had a bunch of cards like this ungraded. And so I'm like, wait, this one I think was $10 less. And I was thinking to myself, do I get this one graded and ready to go, or do I get this? Because I was planning on doing an SGC submission. So I was like, what about that one? I couldn't really decide which one. So near the end of the show, I went up to him. This is a habit of mine. I call it happy scour. When you go at the end of a show and you talk to dealers and you see if you can get some last minute deals before they pack up for the night. So I offered him a deal to take home both of them, and he accepted. He was fine with it. I didn't lowball him or anything, but I got them both. I think, I don't even want to say the price, but I got them at a great deal. So, well, that's the story behind that. But so this thing is, it is beautiful. Look at it. Perfectly centered, perfect corners, everything. So I'm saying 8. I'm going to be wrong, but let's go 8. Speaking of California, okay, I got to tell this story. They have all these trails here. Winding through neighborhoods, there's like canals. I don't know if it's drinking water. No one really knows what the water is. But these canals, they're small, like you could jump over them. They're short. They're not wide at all, but they're everywhere. And there's trails along them for people, pedestrians and bikers and walkers. So we're always on them. If you heard about that fucking scumbag, the Golden State Killer, apparently that's how he chose his victims, because some of that happened around here. You could see in people's houses. It's crazy. Like, especially nowadays. It's like, are you kidding me? When you're walking along, just having a jolly old walk, you could see in people's houses. Anyway, burn in hell, scumbag. Anyway, so on these trails, some of them go into the wilderness. So we took one, and we're going through cow pastures and forests and all that. And then there's this dirt road, dirt trail, and we're walking down it. And I'm like 2 steps away, and all of a sudden, a snake comes out of the ground from the middle of this dirt path, and starts slithering off. So me, laughing, hey, look, a snake. And I grab my camera and I'm filming it, and I'm making commentary and everything as it slithers away into the grass, tries to disappear. And stupid me, the non-herpetologist, all of a sudden I say, oh, that's weird, it's making a noise. Take a guess what the noise was. Let me do this for you. It's these. It's some gum. So I say to my girlfriend, I'm like, it's rattling like a fucking idiot New Yorker I am, not used to rattlesnakes. It was a fucking rattlesnake that came out of the road, steps away from me. I literally would have stepped exactly where it was a second later, and it slithers off, and I'm like happily following it. Idiot. Anyway, the reason I say this, let's see if we can get it here. On his belt, right over on his belt here, there are two tiny puncture marks. It looks like a tiny, tiny, tiny snake bit him. It doesn't go through. It doesn't do anything. But they're there. When you tilt it in the light, I don't know if you can see it, but there's these two little puncture marks. It doesn't go through. There's nothing like that. There's no problem with it. Yeah, I can't get it right, but so that's why I bring it up, because it looks like he was snake bit, but nicely centered, just a little off over there, but really fucking nice card. This should be an 8, but with that, I don't know what that is. These weird surface issues. You have no idea what the hell that'll cost you. So I'm gonna say a 7. I hope, because it's just in the gloss, it doesn't go anywhere else. Hopefully that's all right. I mean, I want more. It's so much better than a 6 or a 7. All right. This one, Jim Palmer. I wasn't going to send this one. This is a card I soaked. Some people don't like soaking, but I don't care. If it's water, I don't use any chemicals. I don't alter anything. I just try to remove schmutz. And this one right near his crotch, which is funny because we all know what his crotch looks like, because he used to do those freaking underwear commercials with his banana hammock. But right here, there was this thing, and when you tilt it, you see it. I call this scangling, when you scan it and angle it in the light. And it was just see-through. You couldn't tell it was there. And I didn't know what it was. I took a pantyhose to it, everything. I was like, and it wouldn't move. So at the last second, I said, you know what? I'm going to have to freaking soak this. So I got it underwater and started using a Q-tip. And sure enough, it went away. So it was right here. And then there's another thing. I took a 35-pound thing of cat litter, climbed up the ladder with this, with a board, a flat board, and a paper towel and a book. And I put it on top of the roof to flatten it, to dry it after the soaking. So that's something that's never happened before. A guy carries a 35-pound cat litter up on the roof to dry a baseball card. All right, couple more things. This one, a beautiful card. I don't want to take it out of this, because even if you look at it wrong, a 1971 will start wearing away. It'll start turning white before your eyes without you doing anything. It has a mind of its own. But this, the guy I got one of the other cards from, he told me that I always ask if a person has graded cards and non-graded cards. I asked them, I'm like, do you send in cards yourself? Very important question. You should always ask dealers that. Take my advice, because you can learn a lot. He's like, oh, no, I don't. Just, I buy collections. I buy whatever I can. He said, here's the quote. He's like, nothing I say it'll get was even close. The few times I did send stuff, he's like, my grades aren't even close. So he had this priced at almost $100, and he kept telling me, well, you know, I priced it at what a 4 would get, you know, because that'll get a 4. So then I used his words against him. I said, wait, but a second ago, you just told me you have no clue how to grade cards, and they always come back worse. So I'm like, so I know just by this, you know, little problems. I was working big time trying to convince him. I'm like, this is maybe going to get a 3, maybe. So I got him to drop the price. I got it at, I think, a really good deal. If you ever see these for sale at shows, they're always expensive. They're just, it's a great looking card against just his very centered, what's the word I'm looking for? Concentration on his face, never a smile. But the black is good. It's a little centered low, but this has got to get a 6, if not more. I'm going to say 6, which leads me to this Bob Gibson. That's the last card. It's just really nice. Tiny, tiny corner there, but whenever, no matter what you guess about 1971s, you're always wrong. I mean, am I right? It's, you know, you think if you got the full black coverage, that's all that matters, but apparently it doesn't. You need a lot more other things. But this one, it's got to be a 6. I want more. I want a 7. But I'm going to guess conservatively at a 6. So, Bob Gibson, man, number 45. What an intimidating presence that guy was, but such a nice guy. All right, so that's it. Jolly Elms, or, well, Jolly Elm on here, but it's Elms. And with my new channel, Elms Adventures in Cardboard Land, with Clemente, Mantle, Mays, and Dave Kingman. Woo, my Mets. And there's a couple things hidden in this logo. The way FedEx has that arrow hidden in their logo. There's a couple, it's not hidden, but a couple of cool things that I'll point out sometime. But all right, so there's Bob Gibson. And that's it. After an intermission or something, I'll have a blind reveal. So let's hope it works out. Good grades for everyone. Good grades for all my men. All right, take care. Bye. Let's do a little more rattlesnaking for the intermission. This is the video I shot that day. Watch this thing slither right here. Oh my God, is that creepy? It finds a hidey hole, so you would have no idea it's even there. Look at this thing. It disappears. But then, because I'm walking around it, it knows I'm there. It decides to head for the thick grass and disappear to hunt for other prey. I'm happy to report it went home with an empty belly, as it didn't feast on me. So I escaped. But there's something very important I should have pointed out. This is a juvenile. It's not a full-grown rattler. That's why we didn't realize something was wrong. If this was a movie, you'd hear that loud rattling sound. But we didn't hear that, just the almost silent rattle. And that's why we didn't know we were in danger. And now it heads for the tall grass to disappear. But there's something even funnier. This is on one of those trails that scumbag serial killer would use to look into people's windows. If you could see that the houses are further back in this part. But look, caution, rattlesnake den. That's what it freaking says on the sign. There's even an arrow here pointing to it. It's at the edge of like the sidewalk, the trail. Some earth eroded, so there's a hole there, and it turned into a freaking rattlesnake den. It doesn't say caution, slippery when wet. It says caution, rattlesnake den. Somebody had to tape a sign to a bucket to warn people. It's just insane. You can't make this shit up in the wild, wild west. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're now in part 2 of this video. And a little disclaimer. No snakes were harmed in the filming of this video. This is the rookies mainly cards, and it's blind reveal time. So, long-suffering Mets fan, as I keep saying. And just like when I go to a pool, I just do the Nestea plunge. I just turn around backwards and just flop into the water without testing it. So let's plunge right in. This first one is the Billy Williams rookie card, 1961. Number 26 on the Cubs. Always hated the Cubs as a Mets fan, but what can you do? It's off-centered. Got it at a good price. And it's a real nice card. Just the centering, we'll see how bad it got hit. 6. And I guessed a 6. I do pretty well with the guessing. I mean, there's some clear errors in the guessing, but in general, I try to get, if I'm looking at a card, I want it to be a 6 or a 5 if it's a star. I don't like to venture lower 4s or anything like that. To me, a 4 says a crease, even though I've learned that that's not the case, really, that I think a 3 is more likely to have a crease, where 4 could have other problems. 6, all right, that was as expected, so okay. Ooh, here's the Robin Yount. A lot of hopes in this one. Every time I say that, I get screwed, and it doesn't work out. But can't change what's going to happen, whatever number it is. There's always cardboard peaks and valleys. So let's see it. It got the 8. All right, I guessed an 8 because it's just an absolutely gorgeous card. I mean, there's nothing you could say is wrong with this. So an 8, that's great. I mean, a 9 would have looked better on old Robin, but hey, 8. Okay, so 2 for 2 so far. Frank Robinson. Talking about snow. I mean, if you watch these videos, you would think I've never seen a tangent I didn't like. But yeah, it doesn't snow out here. But it's another weird thing is I went to school near Buffalo, and I just got into buffalo wings so hard. It's ridiculous. The first time I ever had them, I was crying. They were so hot. My new friends, my college buds, just screwed me over. Had me taste wings. Well, out here in freaking California, they serve wings with ranch fucking dressing, not blue cheese, ranch. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? And when I ask, like if I'm at Wingstop or somewhere else, and ask them to, where's my blue cheese? Or can I have some blue cheese, please? I'm very polite. They look at me like I'm the nut, not them. Ugh, drives me bananas. Blue cheese, people. Anyway, sorry. This is a nice card. A lot of snow, though. Like in Buffalo right now, it's snowing like crazy. 5. Oh, I guess the 5.5, so it's a little off. I think the snow affected it more than I wanted it to. But look at the center. I mean, this is, I don't know if you collect this card, but wow, tough card to find centered. So, all right, it was close enough. That's in the neighborhood. Carlton Fisk, another person I hated, nothing personal, but, you know, Thurman Munson was my guy, and so there was always this rivalry between those two. Just like in, you know, every sport, your home catcher versus their home catcher, your center fielder against their center fielder is always a rivalry. But this one, again, like the Robin Yount, I'm expecting good things. This could really hurt me if it doesn't work. Let's see how we did. Oh, boo! Dang, that one hurt. 5 to 9, 9 to 5. No one here gets out alive. I really thought this was an 8. I mean, it got the 0.5, I guess, for centering, but oh man, I feel like I'm all Alice in Chains right now, down in a hole. But I got it at a good price, so even with the cost of grading, it's a bargain. But yeah, absolutely, that sucks. All right. All right, this is the Ron Santo, totally underappreciated Hall of Famer from the same year as his teammate, Billy Williams. This has that snake bite, and you saw in the intermission, it was actually a baby snake. I failed to mention that, but that thing, the way it slithers. But this has a little mark, a little indentation in the glass that looks like a tiny, tiny snake bit it. If I was an actual herpetologist, I guess I'd know the name of a snake that's small enough to make it. But all right, here we go. Come on, buddy. 7. All right. I guess the 7. I'm wondering if it's right here, maybe with the new camera phone. I don't know. It's there, but just two little thunk in the gloss alone, nowhere else. So a 7. I wanted a 7. So that's good. I mean, you know, beggars can't be choosers. It's a beautiful card if you look at it. Any person, you know, talking about eye appeal, this is a poster child for eye appeal. All right, 7, not bad. Oh, the Jim Palmer rookie card. Okay. I forgot to mention something earlier in the video. Oh, uh-oh, there's a little stain back there. When I mentioned bringing up the cat litter on the roof to flatten the card out to dry it, essentially, after the soak, I'm sure that confused people, like, why up there? But it's California, so right now it's raining like crazy. It's been for like a month, more than that. It just keeps raining. But in general, there are cloudless skies, blue skies, no clouds, sunshine all day, you know, just unrelenting sunshine. So the problem is California is also very crowded. So there's houses on top of each other, cars, trees everywhere, all that stuff. So you can't get a direct line on the sunshine. And since this was a last minute participant in this blind reveal, I wanted to get it dried quickly. So that's the reason I went up on the roof, because when you're on the roof, the sunshine is completely unrelenting. You can't escape it. So I knew it would dry quickly, and it did. And the stuff on it was just some see-through. It's not nail polish, but if you did nail polish on it, that's what it looked like. It was just see-through something, some kind of liquid that dried. I don't know what it is, and I got rid of it. All right, I didn't guess what grade this one would be. 6.5. That's nice. Because it is a beautiful card. It was just this weird thing, and I didn't want to send it in with the with that mark or whatever you want to call it on it, because it would, you know, it would screw the number. It'd be lowered, so that's why I got rid of it. I don't take soaking overly seriously. Like, I just once in a while, if there's a good reason to do it. Excuse me. All right, 6.5. That's not bad. I didn't guess on that one, but I'm sure I would have said 6. All right, the Clemente with the serious face. Even on back, serious, always serious. This is a beautiful card. Paid a decent amount for it, but I think it was a good price. But I told the guy, he was saying a 4. Oh, when you ask people about cards, dealers about their cards, if they have both graded and ungraded, asking them if they send cards in themselves, it's important for this reason. I forgot to say it. Say they have a line of cards, like all these cards, and they all have sequential numbers and things, like they sent them in themselves to get graded. And then suddenly there are cards like, you know, like a Lou Brock that's not graded. Not that this one's worth anything, but, you know, an important card that's not graded. Then you have to ask yourself, why didn't he send that one in? And, you know, if you want to be a cynic, you would think maybe he did send it in and it got rejected, especially if it's PSA. At least with SGC, they grade a lot more of the cards that others might find like miscut or something, or, you know, minimum size, even though it's the right size. So maybe they sent the other cards in too, and they got rejected, but they're not telling you on the little top loader. Like, there's nothing here saying, oh, sent it in, but it's trimmed, you know. That's why you ask. Anyway, sorry, long story. All right, here we go. 6.5. All right. This turns this card into a really nice bargain, because he was telling me he was pricing it at a 4. And I was trying to convince him it's going to be a 3, simply because he told me every card he sends in, he's wrong with the grade. That's good. These are wicked tough to get good grades on. I don't think I've ever sent one in and I've gotten over a 6. Most of them 5s, even 4s, even though they look beautiful. This one's beautiful. And it's, I don't know if you ever watched the Golden Girls, but Sophia, she has this quote, Tony Del Vecchio is a dreamboat. I wouldn't mind glancing over at the night table and seeing his teeth next to mine. That's just funny, but that's what this is. This is a dreamboat. All right, 6.5. Can't complain about that. And lastly, Bob Gibson. I said he signs his, I think it might be in a different video. I said how he signs his name, Robert Gibson, yet they call him Bob. I think I saw that he has 3 cards from Topps with autographs on them, and 2 are Robert and 1 is Bob. But I'm not sure if I said that in this video or a different one. All right, this one's nice also. One little corner, hinky corner, I guess the 6. And it got a 7. That just shot my theory, or what I just said about I've never gotten a 7. I believe this is the first time I've gotten a grade this high on a 1971 with the black. PSA just destroyed, like, it's just ridiculous. You send in a perfect card and you get like a 4 or 3. All right, so this one did well. I did better than I thought. I said a 6, it got a 7. Woo! So that's really good. That's a strike right down the middle, called strike. Very happy with that. Okay, so a bunch of rookies, Hall of Fame rookies. They all did pretty well, except for the the one I had my highest hopes, the Carlton Fisk. But so this is good. This is part 2 of my blind reveal, and that's it for now. Hit me up, Jolly Elm on Net54. Like my channel, Elm's Adventures in Cardboard Land, and my email is whatwouldElm@aol.com if you want to talk trade or something. All right? Elm's out.